Hello all and welcome to Wow Crochet Designs. My name is Mary and in today's tutorial we are working on this gorgeous little kitty head that you see right here. Mini kitty head, as you can see. It's quite small if you think about it. Yeah, it's like 2 thumbs worth. So it's tiny. And we're working on this kitty head for our wreath project. There it is right there. That's the wreath. And this is where the head will be attached to. Okay, but not today. We're just working on the project today. We will attach all these items that we're creating over the next week and a half next week, because we are doing October's today. We'll do November's on either tomorrow or Monday. Then we'll do December's next week at some stage, and then we will attach them all to the wreath next week. But for now, let's work on today's. The yarn I used today was an 8-ply or a DK weight or a 3-weight cotton overseas. So you can use any 3-weight yarn. You can use an acrylic, a wool, or a cotton. If you're going to attach it to the wreath, it doesn't matter, as long as it's a 3-weight or a DK weight yarn or an 8-ply if you're here in Australia. All right. Now, for the purpose of the tutorial, I'm using a chunky yarn with a larger hook, but you guys will be using the 8-ply DK weight or 3-weight yarn with your 3mm hook. All right. So just focus on that and not on the actual project that I'm working on today, because that is just to show you how to do the stitches. You won't be able to see that online, so I'm doing it in a chunky yarn. All right, so in the meantime, who chose our color combination for today? This color here, the gorgeous purple from Bendigo Woolen Mills cotton range, was chosen by the lovely Sherry or Kathy on one of our live antics that we have every Saturday mornings. Now what happens, it's not always every Saturday mornings, but what happens is on Saturday morning, we actually have a thing called live antics where anyone within that live would like to choose the color combination of our very next tutorial can get that option to do so. Now the only thing is I put everyone's name in the live in a hat, shake it up, pull out a name, and that's the person who gets to choose the color combination for the next tutorial. And today's one was Kathy Sherry, or Sherry Kathy. That's what I like to call her. All right, so that's that. You will need your hook, your cotton. You will need your scissors. You won't need the sewing needle today because we're not sewing anything up today. All right, so just you can leave that sewing needle out until next week. All right, and you will need 1 stitch marker if you're new to crochet and you don't have stitch markers. You can use a safety pin, you can use a hairpin, you can use a piece of thread. But my suggestion if you're new to crochet would be to use some sort of stitch marker, all right, to mark your first stitch, so you know what to slip stitch into at the end of the round. And they are made in rounds, and I'm going to use the chunky yarn for now. And we're going to start off with a magic loop or a magic ring, and that's placing the tail end of your yarn in front of you like so, grabbing the working end of your yarn and wrap it around your fingers, crossing over your tail like so. So you're forming a little X, if you will. Yeah. Then you grab your hook, you place it under the first loop, you grab that back loop and you pull it up and through. What you have is your 1 there and 2 down here. Place your fingers in between the 1 and the 1. Don't let go because that will come undone. All right, so just swapping your fingers over, and now you start. Chain 1, which is yarn over your hook, pull a loop through like so and give it a gentle tug. Chain 2 and chain 3, and if you can, grab your stitch marker, might be a little awkward, and pop it in the top 2 loops of that top chain that you created. It can be a little awkward because we haven't completed that center, so just being careful not to undo your center. All right, and just give your tail a little bit of a tug, not too much, because you want to place your double crochets in that center. All right, so we're going to start with double crochet. The first one, yarn over your hook, pop your hook in the center, and you're crocheting over the tail as well. Yep. Pull a loop through like so, and you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops left, yarn over, pull through the last 2. And that's your first double crochet. Now you need 12 double crochets altogether. Your chain 3 will act as 1, and you've got your second one, so you need another 10. All right, so yarn over your hook, pop it in the center, pull a loop through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops left, yarn over, pull through the last 2. So 1, 2, 3. You can give your center a little bit of a tug, not too much. Again, you need to fit in another, what was it? 9. So you've got 12 altogether. You've got 3, and off we go. 4, 5, 6. Notice how I'm still crocheting over the tail. You have to crochet over that tail for this center pull to work, yeah? 7, or the magic if you will. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, so let's say for argument's sake you lost count. All right, the way you count these stitches are these little V looking things that you see here. So you've got your 1, which your stitch marker is in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and your last stitch there is 12. All right, that's the way you count them. Pop your hook in. Now, this is where the magic comes. You grab your little tail end of your work and you give it a tug, and it closes up your center just like magic. Popping it at the back, you're going to slip stitch into the stitch with your stitch marker right there. Okay, pop your hook in, pull a loop through, 2 loops on your hook, but you're going to pull that loop right through to the stitch on your stitch marker. All right, taking out your stitch marker, and you have closed your center. All right, now chain 1, just give it a bit of a tug there, yeah, 2 and 3, grabbing that stitch marker one more time, popping it on the stitch, or through your stitch, sorry, I should say, not on it, through it, yep, like you did before. But in this round we're going to double everything. You're going to pop a double crochet in that same stitch that you are in. Don't jump to the next one, you're going straight into the same stitch you are in. So yarn over your hook, that's the stitch you're in, you can see it pulling, yeah. Go right back into it, a little bit tight, yeah. Pull a loop through like normal and complete your double crochet. All right, so when I say double, it's double everything. Yarn over your hook, you're going to put 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and that's that V that you see right there. Don't skip it, but just know that you are already there. Turn your work to you if you can't see it, and you can see the little V there. And you can pop 1 double crochet in it and a second double crochet in it, like so. All right, and then 2 in every little V that you see, every stitch that you see. All right, let me just bring that out a bit because I think you can see now. So 2 into every stitch, like so, and then we'll work fairly fast so that we can get over to that very last stitch. You know what you're doing now, yeah? All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm not going to meet you up at the end of the row, but I'm going to pop this on fast for you. You can slow it down with your settings, but I'm going to put 2 double crochets in every stitch until I get to my very last stitch. I'm going to pop this on fast, and off we go. Alright, so here we are at the end of the round, and I have 1 stitch left. So we'll pop 2 double crochets in that 1 stitch. 1 and 2. And what you should have, if you did your count correctly, you had 12 in that first round, you should have 24 stitches in this round. All right, so from here, which is a stitch marker, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 and 24. Now pop your hook back in the thread into the next stitch, which is the first stitch that you started off with. Pull a loop through and pull it through to the loop on your hook, and you have slip stitched your circle closed like that. Now we're going to do our third and final round. I can't imagine yet, but it is. Chain 1, and in the same stitch you are in, you are putting a single crochet. You're popping your hook into the stitch, pull a loop through like so, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both those loops. Pop your stitch marker in that stitch, top 2 loops there. All right, in your next stitch, don't lose it, it's really tight in there. You're putting 1 single crochet like you did here, so you pop your hook in, pull a loop through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both those loops. So your first stitch, your second, now 2 single crochets into your third. So 1 and 2. Yeah, 1 single crochet into your fourth, 1, 2 single crochets into your fifth, 1 and 2, and 1 single crochet into your sixth, right there. Now we're going to go back to our double crochets, which is yarn over your hook, but you're going to skip 1 and 2 and pop your first double crochet in the third stitch. So skip 1, 2 and into your third, pop your hook in, pull a loop through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops left, yarn over, pull through another 2, and do it again in the same stitch. Into the stitch, 2 and 2. Now we're going to do what we call a half treble. So it starts off looking like a double. Yeah, you pop your hook into the stitch, pull a loop through. So this is the same, but now we're going to change it up a little bit. You've got your 3 loops, but you're only popping your loop through the first one. So yarn over your hook and you're pulling through just that first loop on your hook. So you still have 3 loops. Now yarn over your hook, pull through 2 loops, yarn over your hook, pull through the last 2 loops. That's elongated the stitch a little. Now we're going to do it again, but this time we're doing a treble to make it look even taller. So yarn over your hook twice, so it's once and twice. Yeah, normally we just pop it over once. For this stitch here, we're going to pop it over twice. Once, twice, into the stitch, pull a loop through like so, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops left, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops left, yarn over, pull through all the loops on your hook, or the last 2 loops, yeah? We're going back to the half treble again, yarn over your hook, into the same stitch, this is all in the same stitch, pull a loop through, 3 loops on your hook. Remember, we're putting the first one through the first loop only. So yarn over your hook, pull it through the first loop, 3 loops left, now yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops left, yarn over, pull through the last 2. And you're doing 2 more double crochets in the same space. Yarn over your hook, and this is just your normal double crochet, 3 loops, yarn over 2, 2, yarn over 2. 1 more, all in the same space. So it should be relatively overcrowded like that. You're going to now skip the first 2 stitches you see there and do a single crochet. So we're going back to single crochets. So skip 1 and 2. Now pop your hook into the third stitch, pull a loop through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both those loops, yeah? Super easy. But in the next stitch, we're doing what we call a slip stitch. which is the way you slip stitch close here. You just pop your hook into the stitch, pull a loop through, and keep pulling it through to the loop on your hook. Your next stitch, single crochet. Into the stitch with your normal single crochet. Now you're going back to your doubles again. Yarn over your hook, skip your 2 stitches, 1 and 2, jump into your third with a double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through the last 2. Do another double crochet. Oops, I just split the yarn there. Now we're repeating exactly what we've done here. So now we're doing a half treble. Yarn over, hook in, pull a loop through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through just 1, 3 loops left, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops left, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Now we're doing a treble where we wrap the yarn around our hook twice, once and twice. Into the same stitch, pull a loop through, 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2, back to a half treble. So yarn over your hook, into the stitch, pull a loop through, yarn over, pull through just 1, 3 loops left, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Now we do 2 more double crochets in there, so normal stitch, into the stitch, pull a loop through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. 1 more, all in the same stitch. And now you're going to skip 2 and you're going to put 1 single crochet into the third one. So pop your hook in, pull a loop through, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. Yeah, my yarn just got caught, sorry guys. Now in the next stitch you're putting 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. Oops, in your next you're putting 1 single crochet. In your next you're putting 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. In your very next you're putting just 1. And before you slip stitch to this one right here, we want to make a little bit of a point. So we are going to put another single crochet in that same stitch. That's where your stitch marker is. We want to put a single crochet right in the same stitch that we first started in, like so. And then we slip stitch into the stitch with our stitch marker, pull a loop through, pull it through to the loop on your hook, remove your stitch marker, pull a loop through to the loop on your hook, and let me show you what you have right now. You have that. All right, that's your cat right there. Oops, upside down. Sideways, not upside down. All right, so mine will look smaller, but yours will look like this as well. I only did it in the larger one so that you can see. Now the idea is to give your work a cut. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to waste this yarn. Cut your work, but before you do, sorry, I hope you haven't cut yet, make sure it's a long tail. This is actually too small because you need your tail when we're attaching to the wreath to go all the way around here. Probably haven't decided yet whether we're going to attach from the inside so you don't see the stitches, or whether we go through each stitch. I haven't decided yet. However, before we continue, see these little ears that we made? If you separate those ears a little bit with that gap there and the gap on this side, once you attach that to the green wreath, you will see the green eyes sticking out. All right, so I hope that makes sense. You will see the eyes there and you'll see these 2 ears that we made. All right, so that's pretty much what you made right there. Simply divine. And there you go. So you have now completed your October project. Get excited. Don't cut this thread too short. Keep it nice and long. And we're going to use it to attach to our wreath at the end of the week next week. Get excited, guys. I'm feeling so much better. back on the mends again. The voice occasionally goes, but when it goes, I stop recording and I come back 10 minutes later, all right? So thank you very much for joining us today. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Do all the wonderful things that you guys, well, pretty much already do for me. And a very special thank you to the lovely Sherry Cathy for her colour combination of our gorgeous little October kitty. Thanks again and ciao for now.